Hello everyone, welcome to yet another interesting topic from Python. Now in this part of the video, we'll be discussing about conditional statements in Python. Now Python, just like other languages, also supports conditional statements, especially the main two types of conditional statements, those are branching and looping statements. Now for the branching structure, we have if and else if statements in Python, and for looping statements, we have for loops and while loops. Now let us see how those conditional statements are executed in Python. Let's get started. Now let us talk about the if-else statement, for which I'll start with creating a file and I'll name this file as cp6.py, where py is the extension for Python files. So I'll begin with the if-else condition, that is checking whether number is odd or even. So I'll start off with reading a number from the user, num is equal to input. In the input function, I'll prompt a message saying enter a number. Now I'll check if n modulo 2 equal to 0, just like other cases. So that is num modulo 2 equal to 0. I'll print the number is even, else I'll print number is odd. I'll clear the screen. To run this, Python 3 cp6.py, so it's asking for a number 45, hence the number is odd. And this is how you connect if and else statements in Python. If there are cases where you want to have multiple if statements, multiple conditions, okay. For example, I write a program saying if num is less than 10, I'll print the number has only one digit. Else if, this is when I am creating an additional if condition. In the if condition, I am giving it as num less than 100. The number has 2 digits. Else print the number has many digits. I'll save this. So this is how you connect the if else if condition in if else statements in Python. Let's run the file. So I give a number as 45, the number has 2 digits. So now give a number as 3, the number has only 1 digit. If I enter a number as 100, the number has many digits. Now this is how the program gets executed in order with the help of if, else if and else statements. Now this program has a pretty minor small bug saying if I provide a negative number, it says the number has only 1 digit, but it has many digits. So now to avoid this, what we can do is we can make use of yet another function which says absolute, which will take only the absolute value of the number. It will omit the negative numbers. That is, all the negative numbers will be made as positive numbers. Clear it. I'll run the file. 45 has got 2 digits. Minus 45 also has got 2 digits. It's because we have made the absolute value of the given number. This is a short little detail which we can make use of in terms of if-else statements in Python. Now let's talk about looping statements in Python. Now in order to run a loop statements, we already discussed a function called as range, and with the help of for in is a looping statement which we use in Python. For is a looping statement and in represents some of the range function to be mentioned here, or we can also use some iterable values such as list, tuple or set or dictionary. For instances, for I in range of, so we are supposed to provide 3 details here, which is start, stop and step. for I in range of 0 to 10. Now I'll print I. Now this I will basically act as an iterator throughout this iterable value. Now range is basically an iterable value. It is not necessarily you have to provide only a range function here. We can also use for I in, I can also use a list 34, 45, 76, 12. It will print the value that is stored inside the list. I'll run the file. You can very well see it printed 0 to 8 initially, and then it printed each and every value from the list individually. This is in short how the looping structures in Python is getting executed. Now this value of I will basically act as an iterator. Now there is a small little glitch detail which we have to remember in terms of using for loops, which is a major difference between how for loop is being used in other languages like C, C++ or Java, and how a for loop is being used in Python. Now let us see those details parallelly. So for which I would like to create a file in C programming. So I'll save this file as sample.c. So I'll start with my header files. Hash include standard input output.h int main. Here I'll start with my loop directly. Int I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, printf %d, comma, I plus plus. So I'm incrementing I twice here, as you can very well see. Return 0. So let's save this file and see what happens. I'll clear the screen. So to compile this, gcc space sample.c -o sample. So when I run this file called sample /sample, when I run this file, you can very well see it prints only 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. The incrementation is happening twice. Reason because I've incremented the value once inside the for loop and once inside the looping structure as well. So whatever changes I do inside the loop can also affect the iterator value of this loop. Okay. Now the same thing in Python. For the same loop, if you want to write it in Python, for I in range 0, 10, 1, I have to iterate it only once. When I say print I, it increments it. If I want to increment the I value, post this, I will say I is equal to I plus 1. But when you notice it, this iteration will not impact. The third line will not impact the iterator by any chance. The loop always prints 0 to 9. Now the reason, the small difference is nothing but whatever changes you do to the iterator in Python, that will be omitted when the cycle gets completed and the iterator goes for the very next value of the iterable. So that is in short detail about how the iterator basically works in Python. It will not consider whatever changes you do. For example, even in this case, I'll also make use of the types here. So I'll say I'll print type of I. I'll print it. And I'll assign a value of I is equal to hello plus str of I. I'll print I. I'll print the type of I. Okay, I'll not run the loop 10 times, rather I'll run only 5 times. Now when I run this file, you can see at the second line, the type of I value is integer and becomes hello 0. So hello 0 is basically string. But during the next trial, during the next iteration, next cycle, I again takes the next very value in the range function. I takes the value of 1. So suddenly it becomes integer again. So whatever changes you do to this iterator of I during the course of this loop will not affect the iteration part of the loop. It will take the very next value from the very next cycle. So that is in short detail about how an iterator basically works in Python. Now let's quickly have a short little detail about how a while loop is being executed. Now while loop in Python is very common to how a while loop is being used across all the other languages of C, C++ and Java. While you should have some condition here while n less than 10, for which n should take up a value. N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. N is equal to n double slash 10. I'm dividing n value by 10. While n is greater than 10, I'll divide it. I'll print n. I'll run this file. It prints 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and it prints 1. In the next iteration, the n value is no more lesser than greater than 10, so it quits out of the loop. So that is how this loop is being executed, which is a very common functionality or very normal running sequence of how this is being evaluated in terms of all the other languages across. Thanks for watching. In our next video, we'll catch up with important topic from Python.